Alright, we'll start off with our brain power for today.
I'm a grown
Good luck trying to start an ecosystem there. Well, if I were playing, I'd start by sprinkling in some mosses. Maybe do liverworts too.
Section 1, come get a cup.
Dear Tim and
Come
Moses,
over here.
can you tell me about mosses and ferns? From Angie.
Alright. So you're gonna
Yep,
take
they
your
are
cup,
indeed plants.
write your name on it, and
Like
then
all
go
other
back there
plants,
and
mosses
you
and
see
ferns are
the fossil.
eukaryotic,
Otherwise,
meaning
you
their
would
cells have a
drink.
nucleus.
Use
They
it to
also
fill it up
contain
about
cell
4 feet
wall
away,
that is
okay? And then come back
cellulose, a
here.
tough, fibrous material.
Alright.
And they're autotrophic, which means they make their own food.
Learn this like Cassidy.
In particular, they carry out photosynthesis, a process that turns carbon dioxide into sugar.
Yep, go back there,
Unlike
fill it up
most
about
plants,
4
though,
feet away.
mosses and ferns don't reproduce with seeds. Those are basically tiny, undeveloped plants in a protective coating. Instead of seeds, mosses, ferns, and other seedless plants use special reproductive cells called spores. Spores are so tiny that when a mature plant releases them into the air, the wind can easily disperse them over great distances. And if a spore lands somewhere with the right conditions, it can grow into a whole new plant. Well, just because they all grow from spores doesn't mean seedless plants are all the same. They're actually broken into 2 main types: vascular and non-vascular. Vascular seedless plants have channels that carry water and nutrients throughout their
You're
bodies,
gonna pick
and sort of like
color
veins and
and
arteries.
do 2 or 3 drops
Ferns are the
in
most
water.
common of these.
Okay.
There are more than
Right
12,000
there, and
different
put your
species.
water in it.
Like all vascular plants, ferns have specialized
Two
channels
colors,
for water
just one
transport,
color.
as well as
Little
roots
pieces
and
are
stems
black.
similar to those in seed
Well,
plants.
Alright, pick one
That
color.
allows them to
mix
grow
it.
pretty
2
tall,
drops.
sometimes more than
Yeah,
50
mix it.
feet. Ferns also have spiral-shaped structures that uncurl into broad leaves called fronds, many of which produce spores. Other vascular seedless plants include ground pines and spike mosses with their needle-like leaves, and horsetails with their jointed stems.
Alright,
They all produce spores at the tips of their stems in structures that look like miniature pine
So when
cones.
do we get
alright, pick your color, Lena.
When do we
and
get
put
them?
it- And then once it's mixed up, put your celery in the cup, and then what I want you to do is go back to your table, and in your stem journal, I want you to write your predictions about what the
It
celery will
helps that
look
most
like.
bryophytes are
in
just
a
a
couple
few cells
days.
thick and don't
Okay?
grow taller
Because
than a
this is
few
for what we did
centimeters.
yesterday on vascular plants.
Thin
Vascular
root-like
plants have
threads
those
called
tubes
rhizoids
that they
hold the
use
plants
to
in
soak up
place
their
and
water.
also absorb water from the
These
ground.
non-vascular vascular.
You'll find
Vascular.
bryophytes all over the world in
Very
dense
good question,
environments with plenty of moisture, like forest floors or near ponds, lakes, and
That's good,
streams.
Riley. That's good. Alright, pass.
Yep, mosses are the most common type of bryophyte. They grow in
Grab
clumps
your
or
celery
layers on the
and
ground,
stick it in there.
tree trunks, or even rocks.
Yes, actually.
From a distance, they might look like fuzzy green
And then you stick it
carpets,
back
but
there,
up close,
put
they're
the rest
actually
of
made
them.
of leaf-like growths around short, wiry stumps.
Alright,
That's one of the
you're
thousands
good.
of
Take your
species of
celery.
liverworts, funny-looking bryophytes with bodies that look like flattened
Alright, Cassidy,
leaves.
pass it over to Logan.
It's true, this lava field doesn't look like the best home for any type of life.
Just take.
Yep,
But
just take a piece of
mosses and
celery.
liverworts
Okay.
are among the first plants
What do
to
we
grow
do?
in harsh environments
Stick
like
it in
these.
there.
Spores carried by
Yep, and
wind
then
on
just
the
put it back
bare
there.
rocks can survive for a long time in dry conditions. All they need is a little moisture to start growing. When these first plants
Does it
die,
matter if
decaying
there's, like,
plant matter
chunks
starts to
down
build
It'll be
up.
fine.
This
And then whenever
kickstarts
you're
the
done, just
process
go
of
back
soil
to your
formation,
desk and in your
gradually
stem journal
creating
write
an
your
environment
predictions
where
about what the
other
celery will
plants
look like in
will
2
grow.
days. Can you put your celery in there?
Yep, that's why seedless plants played such an important role in the evolution of life on Earth. Hundreds of millions of years ago, when all the dry
Yep,
land
that's
was
fine.
rock, bryophytes were the only
That's good.
plants that could grow. They
Alright.
broke down the soil enough for
And then
ferns
pick
to
a
grow
piece of
as well.
celery.
And that provided
Stick
an
it in there.
environment for
Section
the
2.
animals that followed. Over time, the layers of dead plant matter from these original species formed
Grab a
something
cup,
that
put
coal
your name on
used
it.
today for fuel.
Drop this in here. Take a cup, put your name on it.
Okay, now you're just cheating.
Good job, baby. Alright. Yep, it's put water in about a fourth of the way up. Alright, so when I call you over here, you're gonna get your cup and you're gonna stick your name on it. And what we're doing is we're doing a celery experiment. So remember how we talked about vascular and non-vascular plants yesterday? So who can tell me the difference between a non-vascular and a vascular plant? Abram?
Vascular live in place where most sunlight is mostly.
A vascular plant has a tube and a non-vascular plant doesn't.
Good. So vascular plants have tubes that carry their water up to them, and it goes from the roots up the tubes, and like with flowers, it goes to the flower part. So celery is a vascular plant. So what we're doing is we're going to put dye in the water. Pick your color, mix it up. We're gonna put dye in the water. Yep, name on it. Good job. And we're going to put a piece of celery into the dyed water to where in 2 days we can see the vascular tubes that are in celery. We'll see them because they'll turn the color that you turn the water. Mm-hmm.
Can we mix colors or just one?
Just one color. Because if you mix it, it'll turn black. All right.
How many drops?
2.
I think I did a little bit more than 2.
That's fine. And mix it up with the ruler.
It looks like
All right. Pick your color.
That's so much. I put so much mix in it.
Thank you to those who are sitting quietly while we get this done. Section 3, go ahead and come up.
What if we wanted to put red and yellow together?
Sophia.
Give me that ruler. Section 3.
All right.
Sophia.
Here, take one and pass it. Take one and pass it.
Can we put red and yellow together?
I'm definitely choosing blue.
Sharpie. There you go. All right, and then when you filled it up, go to the back table and go to the back and fill it up about a fourth of the way. Who still needs a cup?
It's those chunky.
Daria. There you go, honey. All right, that's good. Take a piece of celery and mix it up. Who needs a cup? Good. All right.
Go get water, Michael.
Yep. Once you have your name written on it, fill it up about a fourth of the way. It's a good tie-in to our fractions lesson we've been doing. You need a Sharpie, honey? There you go. Alright, that's good, that's good. It does not, if it's got a few chunks in it, that's fine. Alright, Levi and Sophia, go ahead and pick your celery. And when you've done it, yep, go right ahead.
Could I add a little bit more yellow to make it a lighter?
Levi, can
Alright, yep, stick it in there. And then you just set it on the back bookcase right there. Where the rest of them are.
Mine's a tree.
Yep. Just a little bit of Karia, about a fourth of the way. That's good, Abram, good. Alright, pick your color, Abram. Do about 2 drops. That's like Sophia. Here you go. That's good.
Wait, so what color first?
Here you go. Yep, pick your color, baby. Zach, what color do you want? Yep, just stick it down in there. And then go set it on the back bookcase. What you need, baby?
Well, I was wondering.
That's good, Abram. Good job, baby.
We can't mix yellow and red to make purple.
Nope, just one color.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to try, it'll look black, so you really won't be able to see it. That's why we're using these bright colors.
Oh, like, can I get one of these?
Yep, and stick it down in there.
I think I'm gonna
Hold on, we gotta mix it up first, baby. Very good, very good. Alright, pick your color and mix. Good job. Get water and come back here. Get water and come back here.
Wow, that's flip.
That's good. And then mix it up.
Okay.
Yours is good. Yours is good. Good.
I see.
Good. Alright, pick your celery and take it to the back bookshelf. It's fine if it's got chunks in it. The chunks won't make a difference.
They're red. Celery. I need a piece of celery. Excuse me, Michael.
Good.
I used a little
All
bit
right,
of blue and yellow.
Alright, once you've got your celery in the bag, I want you to open up your stem journal and write your prediction.
No, it's
about
no
what
pink.
the look like
Where did you
today.
get it from?
The only
You can
thing's
make
gonna be
pink with
green
red
is
and,
the
somebody give me the
red
blue?
and yellow.
Red is my favorite color. Does somebody
Wait,
need
is
a
that
blue?
pink? No, you
Alright.
Wait, do you have a pink?
You
can use red and
just
yellow.
Two drops is good. You don't need a lot of food coloring.
That's
Oh,
enough,
that's good, honey. Yep, just 2 drops.
Wait, how do you know?
Food coloring goes a long way, I promise. Alright, take your celery.
Can we make pink?
No, I don't think we can make pink.
You can do purple, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
Alright.
Is it?
Oh.
What do we mix
Can I use
it
that
with?
when you're done?
Which way?
It doesn't matter.
Michael, can I use that when you're done?
Either which way.
Him, if he's.
Michael, you can go faster. You know that, right?
That's good, Michael.
That was the cheese.
Yeah. Red and blue.
Do I get some?
Wait, is
Yeah,
this
take one and put
Wait,
Oh my gosh. Why does it go
There's a
everywhere?
big chunk right there.
chunks. Don't matter. It's fine. Yep, that's good,
I'm gonna
Brandon.
beat that. Come on, go in there. Hey, can I use this
That's
one?
fine.
And here's the top.
All right. Take your celery, Brandon, and just go stick it on the back. That's good.
Just put it right here.
Yep. All right. Take your celery.
Just do I do it this way or?
To do it that way. Yeah. All right, Akari, what color do you want, honey? Yep. All right, take a piece. All right, once you put it back there, open up your STEM journals and write your predictions about what the celery will look like in 2 days. Yep.
Dang, that's cool.
All right. That's good, man. All right. There you go, baby.
That's pretty. Oh, that's really pretty. Look.
That's good. Good job.
There we go.
Good. On the back, on the bookshelf.
So just like that?
Yep. Good.
Same thing.
Yes. So do our notes.
Then why do you have
All right. STEM journal. STEM journal. If you're done, sit quietly while the rest of them get their predictions made. That's fine. Okay. Do you have somewhere to set it up? Yeah. Yeah, it's over there. Right there. I'll where my cup is. You can still see the board and all of it. I'm looking at that. All right. If you're done, please sit quietly and wait for everybody else to get done. Yes. Yes. All right. Once you are done with your STEM journal entry, please get out your science notes so we can get started. Yes, honey.
The box that I put in my journal from yesterday is right in my brown journal.
Yep. It'll do that. Because it's no longer sitting on soil, so it's no longer getting the water it needs. So like when you don't water your flower at home, like if you get flowers at home or plant at home, it wilts. That's what's happening in your moss. Okay. Who is still writing in their STEM journal? Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So real quick before we get started, who thinks somebody gives me their prediction about what their celery like in 2 days?
It would have the tube showing and showing alive, maybe.
Tube showing, still being alive. Okay, that's a good one.
I think that it'll absorb the color of the water because it has tubes that absorb the water because it, like just the sponges yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll absorb the water and change colors.
Good.
Only the roots. I believe, I predict that it's gonna die because the tubes put in water
Mm-hmm.
in the plant, and then but there's chemicals in
Mhm.
the food coloring, and it will probably die.
Okay, one more, Riley.
I think it'll change the taste.
Change the taste of it. Okay, I don't know if we're gonna eat it, but
Taking it home if I can.
so we've got a couple people think that the tubes in it are gonna show up the color of the food dye. We've got one person saying that it's going to die because of the chemicals in the food coloring. All very good predictions. All right, let's get started on our notes for today. Good. So today we're going to be talking about our plant reproduction. So we'll start off with our grouping plants. So another way you can group plants is by the way they reproduce or produce new plants. Plants reproduce by producing seeds, producing cones, and producing spores. So they'll either seeds, cones, or spores. Plants that reproduce through seeds. Flowering plants who have their seeds enclosed are called angiosperms. Flowering plants have pollen. Pollen is a special dust that helps plants reproduce. So flowering seeds who have their seeds enclosed are called angiosperms. So where it says flowering seeds or flowering plants who have their seeds enclosed are called, and then a blank or an angiosperm. Yes, baby.
Are we on non-seed producers?
Hmm?
Are we on non-seed producers?
We're on the one that says seed producers. Called angiosperms. And then in that so the first one, you see where it says plants that are seed producers reproduce through okay, so plants that are non-seed producers reproduce through spores, and then seed producers reproduce through seeds or cones. Okay? Yes, ma'am. So we're looking at the top. It says when plants are seed producers reproduce through seeds or cones, and then in the second blank you'll put spores that are non-seed producers.
I just thought it was seed.
So reproduce through seeds or cones, and then non-seed producers will be spores. Yep. Seeds or cones, and then spores. Yes. Alright. Does everybody have that ready? Seeds, spores, and then the second blank is, or sorry, seeds, cones, and then the second blank is spores. And then the flowering plants that have their seeds enclosed, then that blank you're gonna put angiosperms. And then flowering plants have what? What's pollen? Good. It's the thing the bees pick up. Special dust that plants use to reproduce.
a bee or a bird lands on a flower, they pick it up. You're a bee. And now you're a bee. And you're a bee.
Wait, what's this one? Can I be a bee? I'm a bee. What's this
Now we need some butterflies.
Can I have a butterfly?
Now you're a butterfly. 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 What else? What else picks up pollen?
Bat.
Bats, good. Or birds. So bats and birds. What else?
Wind.
Wind. Wind. Good.
Wasp.
You don't want it? You don't have to. You don't have to. So now we know that bees, birds, bats, wasps, butterflies. What else? Fish. Well, fish don't. Fish can't land on a flower. This is a good representation of when they touch something. So say that I'm the flower. Hold on. Good, thank you. So say I'm a flower and Addison's a bee and she steps on the flower. What happens? It's on her, isn't it? Just like it would be on a bird or a bee or a bat.
Warm my hair.
We'll have another chance.
More my head.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're done. Thank you. All right. Plants that reproduce through seed. Bees, birds, bats, and the wind carry pollen from one plant to another. So just like I had the pollen in my hand and I said the wind and I dropped it and it carried off, that's what the wind does. So whenever the wind blows, it carries the pollen with it. After plants receive pollen, they produce seeds.
I'm allergic to pollen.
So let's look at our notes. Bees, birds, bats, and the wind carry what? Pollen from one plant to another. After plants receive pollen, they produce seeds. Uh-huh. Called pollen? Alright.
My drawings are holy and
So after plants receive pollen, they produce seeds. Some examples of vascular plants that reproduce through seeds are, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Now everyone has gotten a chance to be a bird, a bat, or a bee that steps on a flower.
I eat the flower of
Right. Let's talk about angiosperms. We'll get to that in just a second. It's kind of broken up today quite a bit.
Hey, watch it!
Cherry bombs away.
Yeah, that's real nice, Mia. Lovely. At least we know you'll have a nice orchard of cherry trees when you're done with all your pit spitting.
Aw, come on. I was gonna pick them up later.
Actually, you should leave them. Help out the life cycle a bit.
That's me, helping out the life cycle.
Seriously, you know those pits are seeds, right? Cherry trees are angiosperms.
I know the pits are seeds, but what's an angiosperm?
An angiosperm is a plant that produces seeds inside a flower.
There must be lots of angiosperms around then.
Most plants in the world are angiosperms. Those tulips and lilies in the garden, that oak tree, those roses, all angiosperms. There are two different kinds of angiosperms, monocots and dicots.
And a cherry tree is?
A cherry tree is a dicot. Dicots have two seed leaves and their veins are branched. A dicot's vascular system is in rings, like the rings you see in a tree, and the petals on their flowers come in multiples of 4 or 5.
Hey, you're right. What about monocots?
Well, the tulips are monocots. When they start to grow, they have one seed leaf. Their long leaves have parallel veins, and their petals come in multiples of 3. They don't have rings like tree trunks because their vascular system is scattered in bundles.
Cherry trees are dicots. Tulips are monocots. Both are angiosperms.
Right. Angiosperms have flowers and fruit that help make and protect their seeds. Those pits you're spitting came from cherry blossoms. When the cherry blossoms on a tree were pollinated, a seed began to grow inside the ovary, which became the fruit that formed to protect the seed.
So by eating the fruit and spitting out the seed,
You're giving the seed a chance to germinate or grow into a new plant again.
oh, that's what you meant by help out the life cycle.
I think you're starting to get the picture.
Let's see. Angiosperms are plants that contain seeds and flowers or fruit, like this cherry. There are 2 kinds of angiosperms, monocots and dicots. When flowers of angiosperms are pollinated, they begin to form a seed. When the seed is planted, it will germinate and ta-da! A new plant will grow.
Well, you've got angiosperms down. Now, if only the spitting would stop.
Hey, somebody's gotta help the life cycle.
Alright, so angiosperms are plants that produce what? Seeds. And have what? Fruit or a flower. Good. Very good. Alright, let's keep going. Apple trees bloom in the spring. Bees and other animals spread the pollen to the flowers in the tree. Each flower that receives pollen grows into a fruit. All fruits are vegetables, and all vegetables are angiosperms. So where it says some examples of vascular plants that reproduce through seeds. So what was this one? We could write an apple tree. So in that first blank, you'll put apple tree. Where it says some examples of vascular plants that reproduce through seeds are, and then that first blank, you put apple tree. Cherry blossom. That's a good example. So this will give you a couple more. So trees that reproduce through seeds are deciduous trees. They lose their leaves in winter. So what are some other examples of vascular plants? So let's see, flowers, fruits, vegetables. Orange tree, good. You can write apple tree and then orange tree. What else? Maple tree, good.
Cherry tree.
Cherry tree, good. So how do we know that those are vascular plants?
Because they produce fruits and seeds.
So we know that those are angiosperms because they produce flowers or fruit and seeds. So what? Opal tree? Aha, funny. Very funny. Alright, let's focus. Let's get back focused. Okay. So trees that reproduce through seeds are called deciduous trees. So that word, that big word, that deciduous. Yep. That's how you pronounce it. Deciduous. It says trees that reproduce through seeds are called deciduous trees. Thank you, Addison, for sitting quietly while we're getting our notes done. Thank you, Logan. Thank you, Brooklyn. reproduce through cones. Non-flowering plants that do not produce fruits or flowers are called gymnosperms. These seeds are exposed. Cones contain pollen, which animals in the wind spread from cone to cone. The tree seeds form into cones.
I remember that. It was like part.
So, and under non-flowering plants, gymnosperms, non-flowering plants that do not produce fruit or flowers are called gymnosperms. So in that first blank, you'll put fruit, and the second, you'll put gymnosperms.
This.
Yes,
Weren't those trees that produce their seeds are called like trees? What was that?
deciduous.
What is
I can go back,
What would dragon fruit be? So what do we put here?
fruit, and then gymnosperms as soon as I get back to it. Got it, Kinsley?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, that first blank you put fruit, and the second blank you'll write gymnosperm. Gymnosperm is this word right here. So this word right here, that's gymnosperm. And then these seeds are exposed. That's what's going to go in that third blank. It's exposed. The cones contain pollen, which animals in the wind spread from cone to cone. Think of like a pine tree, like a pine cone.
Yeah.
So that's a baby rock bird.
Yep, they have those cones on them.
So that.
Yep, that's a gymnosperm. Because they don't produce fruit or flowers. Yes, Sophie.
That's gonna affect me.
Levi, sit up for me, baby. All right. Trees that reproduce through cones are called. So here are some examples of vascular plants that reproduce through cones. We've got our pine trees. Then we've got our larch trees, our spruce trees, our fir trees. This is a fir, or this is a spruce, that's a fir. Then our cedar trees, and our cypress trees. Yeah, some of them are used for trees.
Rosemary. They're called what trees? They're called what trees? I said rosemary.
So, trees that reproduce through cones are called coniferous trees. They do not lose their leaves in the winter. So think of like an evergreen tree. They're the coniferous. C-O-N-I-F-E-R-O-U-S. Coniferous. Not carnivorous, coniferous. And then they do not lose their leaves in the winter.
The cedar tree?
Yes.
Aren't those types of trees like specifically built for the winter?
Mm-hmm. They don't lose their leaves in the winter. Alright. So you guys, we're gonna stop here with the notes for today. You guys have a Alright, guys, give me 1 second. So what I want you to do is I will give you a sticky note, and what I want you to do is your ticket out the door today is write what the difference between an angiosperm and a gymnosperm is. You can use your notes. Write the difference between an angiosperm and a gymnosperm. You could say the difference between an angiosperm and a gymnosperm is, and you can use your notes, it's what we did today.